trying to speak some English and it was complicated, I know. Okay. So first of all, thank you for coming here, and thank you for being here on time. Yeah, I think it's great. We're gonna be, everything we're doing here is gonna be on video and on YouTube. So anything you may like to revisit or to look at it, yeah, you can have access also. You will have also access to the pitch deck and everything that we are doing. So you will have that information. I know almost everybody right now is looking for a room where to stay and everything. So this is also our problem. So we're gonna fix it up. And if we don't find a solution, it will be on our cost. So don't worry, we'll find a solution that makes sense for any of you. So take away those problems because they're gonna be our problems. So we'll fix it. So from now on, Charo and Jesus, they're looking for that. I know the mayor of town also is worried, and he offered some solutions yesterday. So we're investigating that. And by 12 o'clock, we're going to be seeing another apartment. I'm going to be with you. So this is my task now. I know how complicated it is for you. So please relax on that. Practicalities, yeah. Everything you need to know what is going on is on the agenda. I think you have access to right now. So all the mentors, training pills, anything related to the content you will have prior access to it. And please, everything that Charo Jesus sends, take it very seriously. Also, before any event, I will try to introduce you also. Who is this guy? What is he doing? And everything. So it's up to you also to look into his LinkedIn, because sometimes it's very nice to browse what the guy has been doing. For example, I think today we have about SEO, a guy that has been, he's one of the key guys right now, and he's going to be doing a lecture remote from Latin America. Okay, I think it's 5 o'clock. If we cannot make it by anything, we'll reschedule. You are the most important thing. Mentor comes later. Okay. Look for resources for you in any sense. I mean, that means anything that you may think you needed regarding your startup, we'll look for it. And we'll put Bolt in front to try to get it. Regarding perks, something that you think you should have it. I don't know, I'm thinking like Amazon or Google or PayPal, something you think it would be nice to have it. We'll do it for you. Where? Directly to us. I mean, ask to Charo or to me about. Yeah, the perks in the package is already set up. So we have already negotiated for you guys. So there will be nothing. Yep. We'll help you out to do it. We need to revisit probably about the conditions about PayPal. We have it, I mean, with us, all the terms and conditions. So we will make sure that it applies to you, but we'll help you out in that. Amazon, PayPal, those are the most common. But for example, we are negotiating right now with Correos, which is the post office, for anything you need to be sending also. You will get it for free. Those are the terms we are negotiating. So pretty hard with them. I think it's important for them to be part of our startup ecosystem. So we will be looking for resources anytime, but help us out also to find which resources are important for you. Okay. Regarding the mentors, we'll try to fit their schedule into our schedule. So the main idea is that we will have ground basis mentors in the beginning to have something we can put in common, and then the more specific topics we will put it at the end. So there are some mentors which are extremely good in one specific thing, like, for example, security into your domain. We have really amazing hackers that they are here in Malaga. They set up a company that only do pure hacking for big corporations, and they will be here to helping us out. We'll try to get also a guy that is called Bernardo Quintero. He sold his company to Google also. So he's the founder of Virus Total, or Virus Total, I think is the name of the company. So his story behind is very, very nice. He will try to do a very strong due diligence on what you're trying to achieve. And if they find any holes, they will help you out to secure those. I think for you guys from EastBit, I think that will be pretty amazing. Some of the time, the mentors are trying to put you in a very hard situation, but please see them as key resources to them. I can disclose right now that the team from Bernardo and some of the others, they were putting one of our most successful companies into a really big situation. They broke into the system, and they were able to take down all the credit card transactions that they had. That was not easy for us to tell them, to the founders, but I think it's better that a good friend of you tells you that than an enemy. So first, I think we talked about it. The idea of today is to give you some advices on some key areas. I mean, all of these areas we're going to be touching during the whole period of the mentorships that we will have until the end of the program. But I would like to have like a common ground, and those are advices from us. You may take it or not, and everything you're going to be getting here, they are advices, okay? And they come most of the time from people that they've been doing for quite so long. Okay, this comes straight from Y Combinator. You probably know Y Combinator. They had an amazing lecture with Stanford. They have something that is called How to Start a Startup. I really encourage you to revisit also. So most of the points you will get it from here. They are some sort of a copycat of the things that they've been doing. I will be doing that on Techstars. I will be doing that on iHubs, our partners in Europe. We have our own material and everything, but what we want to give you is like a good background in the beginning. I don't know how far we will be going into those topics, but if we think it's too long, we'll break into 2 sessions. Okay, so we'll continue later on. Of course, you can give us a lot of feedback if it applies to you or not, or so the idea is to challenge also these ideas. You know, Y Combinator has been around for about 10 years. Right now, they've been founded in like 730 companies so far, or maybe about 800. They are trying to stimulate also the ecosystem, and everything they can is not a collection from the founders of Y Combinator. Is from all these 10 years. So this is not purely theoretical. So it's based on things that happen to them. Again, 30% that is about starting a startup is like a base for you guys, but 70% maybe is applicable only for you, for your specific one. We'll try to give you the 30%, okay? So we are not aiming to also lecture you or teach you something. So take this as a training pill, no more than that. Idea. There were a lot of people thinking that the idea is the most important thing. There are people like me who believes that the idea is not the right thing, and I'm just right now in the middle of two. So I'm changing my thing about the idea. We believe that the idea should come first before setting up a team or a product or execute something. There are people that think that the idea values zero and everything is about execution. I don't know if you heard that before. I'm changing also my thinking about it. So this is a good moment about thinking about it. What is true is that the best companies that they've been in the market comes from an idea that has been like the core of it. You know, Brian Chesky setting up Airbnb was about, he was with no possibility of paying his rent. So he wanted to get extra space, and that was the idea originally. And there are people who are going to be discouraging you to take that idea you have in mind. Even them at Airbnb, they were discouraged for over 2 years. Paul Graham, when he was meeting first, he was saying, I like you guys, but I don't like your idea. Please change it. And the guys say, I'm sorry, we're not going to be changing. So they were keeping to that. So I think the idea will be something flexible, but also something very strong, that you have a strong commitment about trying to achieve it. I don't know, maybe you have a different idea about it. One of the things that we believe, if everybody in the company is trying to achieve like an important mission, that will be key. I mean, you will try to find people that they're going to help you out. And that brings the question about doing a copycat, a copy idea, or it is called also a derivative company, or something very unique. We don't like copycats. Nobody likes copycats. And I think it's very difficult to get people on board your boat and trying to help you out if you're trying to copy someone's idea. So if you have an important mission, yeah, that will help you out. Please.
Yeah. I think if you get this idea from another company and you make it a better idea, it's an even better idea than the previous one.
I agree. I mean, and that, okay, taking someone's idea also help you out to sell it to investors. Okay, if you have a completely different idea that nobody had it, maybe you are what is called into the blue ocean, something that you could be rich because you're going to be the only one, but there is no competition. That means probably there is no money into that, and that brings questions to a lot of investors. So if the investors are going to be calling you, asking you, so how many competitors do you have, and you say none, some of them, they are going to be saying, oh, either you don't know who your competitors are, or maybe there is no money in the market. So why am I going to be putting your money into that? Some key investors like Peter Thiel in Silicon Valley, they love that. They prefer to be into this blue ocean where you have like really like 90% or 95% of the market, but the market is really tiny. And they think that the market is going to be exploding also. So, but most of the investors, they don't like that. They prefer that you are into competition and you're doing something and you're copying someone's idea and then maybe flavoring with something that is pretty unique. And that is what we are trying to help you out here with. So yes, you can pick up a market, you can pick up an idea, but we will help you out to do it unique. And that makes the competitive advantage. This is something that we'll be talking about in some other lectures. We'll help you out also with the elevator pitch. We've been also learning from doing like 5, 10, 15 minutes pitch. I think it's all bullshit. I think if you don't convey the message in 30 seconds or a maximum of 90 seconds, it's going to be very complicated that anybody is going to be liking what you're going to be doing. So we'll help you that, and that will come in about 2 to 3 weeks about it. So that will be the ground basis for you. Anyhow, don't go into that. Don't go beyond that. I think if you think what you're doing is great, people will try to join and help you out. Okay, an important mission. there is something, about a startup, and I love this picture. I think the startup lies between. It seems it's like a really bad idea, and this is a good idea. Is there the area where you want to be? Why? Because if it's a bad idea, if you tell everybody and they think it's a bad idea, nobody is going to be trying to copy you and doing things. I mean, Airbnb was a really bad idea from the beginning, so nobody cared about it. So that is where you want to be lying, because this is a very good idea, everybody is going to be trying to be into your market. And then you will face a lot of competition, and then you will have a situation. So I don't know if you agree, but this is the area, okay? Another thing is that everything that we are going to be telling you is about a startup, some sort of a company that is looking for hyper growth. That doesn't apply to normal SMEs or corporates or some companies that they are more thinking about a service solution based on human work. We are thinking that everything we're going to be doing is more like a startup. So please don't take everything for you. Okay, please, you need to be thinking first if you want to be a startup or not. Okay, and the definition of a startup is something that maybe you don't have it clear, but it is a company that is looking for this a repeatable business model, and it can grow exponentially and not in resources. So most of you guys, you have it in your mind. Another thing you need to be also trying to solve is a question. This is Sequoia's famous question: is why now? So you need to be convincing also the investors why is the right time to do it. Why not waiting a year? Why not? Or maybe it's a past one. So think heavily about this one, because people, they are going to be addressing. Do you agree a little bit about the idea? Okay. Product. And some advice about building a product. We think the real path about building a product, it needs to be coming from first, try to look for a great idea, look for a great product, and then build a company around it. That is the common path. Don't build a product after you've been creating the company and putting everybody on top. So should come in the basis that you are right now. And of course, this is something that everybody would like to have it into, but build something that people love. And the most important thing for us is talk to users. So 50% of our time here, I want you to be talking to potential users. So get out of the building. This is like the famous quote from, what was it? Sorry? Eric Ries, yeah, the guy, or Steve Blank also. He said all the time, get out of the building. So this is something we need to force you to do it. If you are most of the time here with us, we are going to be very worried about it. So. Okay, a little bit about the intensity of like. You want to be, okay, this is a little bit of a, if the amount of love is constant, okay, you may think that if there are a lot of users that they like a little bit your product, it will be okay. We don't think that is okay. We think the best thing it will be getting the best will be if you have a lot of users loving your product, but that is very complicated to have. So if you need to choose between building a product that a lot of people like it a little bit, or build a product that a few people love it, we will go for the other one. So try to build something that creates stickiness. So if you tell me that after, I don't know, 2 months, you have 40,000 people into your database trying to apply for that, we are not going to be impressed. We want to see how people are interacting with your product. And if you tell me that you have 10% of them that they love your product, they go every day, hook it, and do things, those are the ones that we wanted, because we can increase the margin. This is a little bit strange. Maybe, do you understand what I'm trying to give you this advice? Okay, that will bring some virality into your product internally. Why? Because if you like something, if you love something, you have the tendency of bringing someone also and to use it the same way. If you like it a little bit, it's not going to be that. So having the 0.99 conversion per one, it will give you to
basically for investors.
Yes, basically an ambassador or people that they are going to be recommending what you're doing. This is what you want. So if you have a conversion that 1.01 people like it and they bring another one into the system, that will bring your virality that you want. And everybody wants that. And then you don't need a lot of money to be spent into marketing or something. But if you have 0.99, so there is no one per one that is coming, then you need to be putting a lot of advertising on everything. And that is the thing we don't like. So again, build something that some of the users love it. Yeah, there's a little bit of a quote about it. And another thing that you want to have in mind is that you need the fanatical team also backing you up. You're going to be also very particular about getting the best quality and the best design and in the beginning. So do not a lot of things, but do a small set of things in a very best way. The thing that most of the people that get it wrong is they try to put a campaign all the time. It's like, or I'm going to be using another company to recommend me, or I need to do partnership very early in the beginning. We don't think that works. We think the best way is that everybody in the company is selling. And the first users, you need to be getting by hand. That means everybody. You probably know Pinterest and the story behind Pinterest. The guy was basically just running around California and asking everybody, would you like getting into that? And he went into even the Apple store and put into the browser, the Pinterest, into the home address before they get it and he needs to run on something. So he was trying to get that, and at the end he got it also. But it's a very particular thing. The first one, manually. Don't outsource this without the company. Why? Because they will give you a lot of feedback also. That feedback will will go again to your product. So you will have the ability of redesign. If you have people in between you and the customer, that feedback will never be back to you. So you don't know what things are going to be going good or bad. Okay. These, if you do it in a proper way, especially into software companies, can go extremely quickly into use. So you can produce like a new version of your product almost every week if you want, if you get this speed loop into it. So we are expecting you to get early adopters, right? And then, okay, don't focus on the wrong metrics. We're going to help you out also to break down which metrics make sense for you. We have about 16 metrics that will go into deep. And we have a very good guy on metrics that is based in Valencia, and he knows a lot about how to present things in a proper way to investors, because investors love metrics. And some of them, they are wrong. We had a company here called Speaky. They help you to learn new languages. They are based in Belgium. They were here from 7 in the morning till 11 in the afternoon every day, and they got impressive numbers. More than 50,000 people applied to their solution and registered. But that wasn't impressive when you look into the active users and how they were using the platform. So those are the metrics that you need to do it very quickly. So don't get it wrong saying that you have 30,000 applying to your database. So how many they are using actively and everything. And be maniac about everybody that is working around your company to get those numbers high. Team. We need to divide between co-founders and employees here. And we will give you a lot of resources about bringing co-founders within the company or early employees and how you get it on board. But right now, let's focus on the co-founders. Co-founders for us is the most important part of the company. And there is a phrase that I like that is someone that is looking for resources all the time, looking for solutions all the time. You want someone close to you, helping you out, someone that is tough, but is also flexible in some time, that is working heavily, and no matter what happens, I mean, he will look for a solution. And at the end, okay, what kind of person do you want to be close? It will sound a bit silly, but for us, is some sort of a James Bond guy. This is the guy that you want to be close to. And it is very complicated to have this into your company, but you need to have someone that you feel confident also if someday you're going to be reporting to. I don't know, maybe you heard from Mark Zuckerberg. He says that he will never recruit anyone that he doesn't feel confident about reporting to, because you don't know how things are going within the company. Things could change, and if you don't find okay with someone that is going to be on top of you, don't do it. So try to know your co-founder, and this is very complicated, but okay, during an acceleration time like you have now, it's an amazing time to know how they react, how they work, how they suffer with you, how they do when they have a crisis. And so spend some time trying to let him know. This is a difficult balance. I mean, there are some companies that they just start out of the blue and they don't know each other. It's very complicated. This is like shooting yourself into a feet. It's like going to a bar and asking someone to marry you. It's like, what are you doing? I think it's easier to divorce someone than divorce your co-founder. I mean, because you're married into this special company. So please take your time. We would love to hear something like you know each other from a previous past, or you've been working together, or something like that. If you don't, and you're looking for a co-founder, try to work with them before. So work for a week, sit with them, and try to see if things could be working. But don't offer a lot in the beginning, because otherwise you could be probably sinking your startup. And we'll talk a little bit about how to fire co-founders, how to retain co-founders, about vesting clauses also. I think I told you about vesting clauses also during the meetings I had with you. Another thing is that try not to hire in the beginning. Hiring someone will burn a lot of resources. So you want the first employees in the company to really understand what you have in mind and to be some sort of a missionary. I think it took more than 5 months to recruit for Airbnb the first employee. And I think it took about a year and a half to get 2 of them. So the guy was interviewing like more than 200 people. Most of them he didn't feel comfortable with. If you do it right, the first 20 employees in the company will feel they're part of your company. And that is the most important thing, because they're going to be feeling part of a mission. Of course, you've heard something like get only the best people. This is extremely complicated. And one of the key aspects about getting the best people is also streamlining your pitch, your elevator pitch. Most of the people get it wrong. Most of the people believe that the elevator pitch is only for investors. And I believe it's more for getting the first people on board, because you need to show that passion. If you don't show that passion is not going to be able to bring him on board. There's something about psychology also, and we'll take another topic about psychology into the startup. It was scheduled for this week, but we will postpone it to the next week. We'll have also a psychologist with us helping you out. We know starting a startup is a very complicated thing, and starting a startup also is not the best way of getting work balance, life balance working. So I'm sorry, but we want you to have at least the ground, the ammunition, and to know how you're going to be feeling. If you're going to be depressed, or you're going to be up and down, and then you're going to bankrupt, and then your co-founder is going to be on you, and then everything we'll put it here. So it will be a more like a basis for you. We don't want to discourage you from doing, but we want you to know what you're going to be getting. Also, think that the most important thing for you, at least some of the people say, is that you need to be managing your own psychology. You need to know that this swing that you're suffering right now, most of the people they say, okay, this is getting better with the time. It's the other way around. It gets worse. So it's up to you to manage in the proper way. And if you don't do it properly, everybody will be feeling that. I mean, as a founder of a company, as a CEO of the company, you have too much pressure. Not only your time, your money, your dedication, it's also the people that they're going to be following you. So if you step off the gas of your car, everybody will smell it and stop and put off the gas. Those things are really impacting the company. So you need to be a role model, and that is hard. Another thing, we believe we're working software companies, right? Basically, what we do is purely software. So we want engineers, get the best engineers, because we believe that mediocre engineers do not create big companies, great companies. So try to get the most and the best ones. We'll help you out also to give you resources. And okay, how do you ask about if they're the right ones? You need to be asking at least these 3 questions. Are they smart? Do they get things done? And this is extremely important into a startup. You don't want people to just give you advice or not bring in something out of the company. That especially applies to really advisors or people that they've been in the market for quite a long. I mean, they can fool you with some good things, but at the end, they are not producing anything. So if they're not producing anything, please take them away. And the last thing is that, do I want to spend a lot of time with this guy or gal? It's like, the answer to them are yes, it's like, bring it on board, because that makes sense. Okay. Some of the key thing is like also they need to have good communication skills, and this is extremely important for raising money. So any of you guys need to be the one like talking to the investor in the right terms and in the right way. We'll help you also with some key mentors that they train politicians and key people in Spain. This is probably the best guy we will have on board. He won a lot of awards, and he will help you out not only with the language, but also with the body language and the way you perform in front of them. Again, manically determined. So you want people extremely stubborn, like going for that, and pass the animal test. You know what is it? If you are not able to put a name of an animal to describe someone the way he is, then probably you don't want him into your organization. I don't know. Every language has its own particularities. I mean, you could say that he's a monster doing things, or he's a mouse because he's all the time hacking, or I don't know, something like that. You need to have this also. And as I told you, don't bring anyone that you don't feel comfortable reporting to them. Okay, you hire the best. Now you need to keep them. The best way of doing it is through not money, because you're short on money. The best thing is most probably about equity on part of the company. You don't want to give away equity straight away, because people will leave the company and will put a big hole into your equity stake. So you need a way of giving this equity all the time, and you don't want people vested. That means that they got already. So you will be releasing stock options and everything, and everybody needs to have that on board also within the company. So from the founders until the advisors also. And normally we're talking about 4 years vesting time. So you have some new options, and they will vest after 4 years. But when you get it, you will release another bunch of new options and everything. And you will get a lot of advice from the investors of not doing it, but you need to convince them about doing it all the time. You know, investors, they don't want to give away shares to people working in the company. They think it's not important, but for you, that is the most important thing. To keep them. Another thing, fire fast. That means if someone is not performing okay, you need to get rid of this person. Otherwise, it makes the whole thing toxic. I can tell you, we have a situation of a company from the previous batch that is here, and they are fighting to each other like crazy right now. They didn't have any vesting thing. There are 5 in the company, now there are 2, one end, another 3 into another end. It's completely complicated. So if you think that someone is not performing the way they should be performing, try to put that into normally the shareholder agreement. And by the way, we'll have someone here helping you out with the shareholder agreement part, like how to put the vesting clauses, how to put who is doing what, and if this guy is not performing, all the ways that you can do to push them away. Does it make sense? Everybody's like okay. Maybe. Execution. I think this is crucial for your company. Most of the companies, they have big plans, but they don't produce anything. And we have had a lot of bad experience about it. So basically, what we're expecting from you is that you execute. You do what you're trying to achieve, and it's extremely complicated to get it started. So, as a CEO of your company, you have 5 jobs. Set the vision, you have it, raise money, and it's part of the game. And these will remain like that for over years. Evangelize, hire, manage, and make sure the entire company executes. So, okay, basically, I'm most of the time pushing everybody to try to get people. Be sure that you are not micromanaging. That makes people really, really bad. I mean, try to be a little bit 2 steps behind, but asking them, giving them resources and everything. But don't be too maniac about everything they're doing all the time. Okay. Another thing is focus. Can you get it done? Please set deadlines. And no matter how the product is, deliver that and put those days in like a stick. If you don't do it, it will go over time and it will show really bad commitments on your product. So if you tell me that in about 3 months, you're going to be getting this application and everything, break into like more achievable goals and everything, but bring it into a calendar and be sure that everybody's focusing towards that. Another thing that a lot of people get it not so clear is it's like you need to be thinking in how long are you spending in doing a specific task, okay? And during the startup mode of your company, you will have some time dedicated. For example, right now you're hiring people. So be sure that your focus is on hiring people. And most of the people ask me, like, how much time do I need to be dedicating to hiring people? I would say no more than 25% of your time. But if you're developing the product, you need to be focused on purely developing the product. And that means that probably 75% of your time, you're developing the product. So you need to recap at the end of the day, how much time did you spend in the task that you were supposed to be doing. Another thing that I found that very interesting too is that most of the people get it wrong. If you ask around the companies, okay, what are the 2-3 most important things that you're doing? Most of the people they don't know what they're doing, so they give you different answers. Like, try to make it coherent within your team. I think that is important. Okay. Focus. Say no a lot. This is important. 95% of your time you're saying no to the things. And of course, you're very close to the customer, and the customer is going to be asking you to do some other things. But you need to be saying, no, I'm sorry, I have a clear vision right now. Because if you try to please everybody, you will be not doing anything that makes sense, especially during the beginning. And communicate a lot, okay? Intensity. Yeah, we want you to work very intense in the things you're doing. I know sometimes it could be complicated because of the amount of noise and everything. We'll give you also some resources about how to get it around, or if you don't get the resources, we will bring it also for you. But we want you to work very intense. And also, yeah, another thing is you need to create like a routine of doing things. This is extremely important within the company. And you need to have an obsession with the execution quality all the time. I'm gonna stay here. I don't want to continue because I think this is going to be too much for today. Everybody's thinking about other things. Back to the beginning of the presentation. The outcome of what you're doing is idea multiplies by product, multiplies by team, multiplies by execution, but also multiplied by luck. And you know, a luck is a number between 0 and 10,000. So it's literally that much. Luck we cannot control, but if you control the 4 different ones and you excel in that, I think you're very likely that you're going to be getting something, and that will be the outcome of that. So give you resources for all of this during this training. But we want you to ask us about the key things that you needed in order to excel. So if you tell me, we need to talk to the people in Banco de Santander here in Spain. We'll put you in contact. We'll do everything. And if they had a special organization about wallet, Bitcoin things, we'll put you in contact. I mean, we'll do everything. Yeah, that is for everybody. If you tell me that you need to be talking to a specific hospital in Spain, do it. We will do the introduction for you. We'll break into that because we want you to talk to people around here and make impact into here. We have good connections, but you need to help us to help you into that. And that applies to everything. Put your best wish list of things you want to achieve, and we'll try to help you out. And honestly, we have really strong connections. I tell you right now, for example, the Banco de Santander, but Juan is working with them, and we have 2 mentors also, which are doing things. And also I have strong connections to BBVA, which is another bank. I have in the innovation people, they are friends of mine. We'll bring you there. We'll break the rules and everything. So don't think that the target is so high. I mean, we prefer you to put us really high targets, because that creates that we need that brings that we need to help you out and excel into that. So whatever. Talking about the gaming, for example, the gaming industry is very strong within our networks. So if you want to make any connection to some of the key players here in the market and outside, let you know. The big win founders, we know them. They're very close to here. But you need to help us out also to sell it to them. So what do you want to achieve also? Do the homework. Don't tell me I want to get introduced to these persons. Like, tell me what they've been doing and what you want to achieve. And the higher the goal, the better for us. So don't be humble. Dream high, dream big. Okay. Sorry, I was putting some examples there, but I'm just picking up some of you. So, okay, we keep it here. We leave the execution part for later on. From now on, I'm all yours regarding anything, housing, anything. So use me. I mean, you have 3 months in front of me with everything you need. Another thing that you probably know, we have some event in Tarifa. I love Tarifa. If you think that will be interesting for you guys, we'll lead you there, invite you for a night there. What they do kitesurfing. They do kitesurfing. Yeah, this is strange, but you may feel that kitesurfing is not an interesting sport for startups and everything. And I will show you that I got the best connections through kitesurfing. Okay, there is a big event at the end of October also in Tarifa. So there are going to be like 30 internet companies that they will go there and they will do kite surfing, and also during the night they will have pitches and everything and going on. That special event, it is at the end of October. I think it's 29, 30, and the 1st of November. I don't know if we're going to be there. It's costly also. I think it costs about 400 euros to be there and everything. I'll try to manage also some specific costs for you guys, but I want you to open what I love, and that is kite surfing. Through that, I got connection to Ariel Poler, which is one of the most interesting investors in Silicon Valley. He comes here quite often, and he spent time with us because he's on the way to go to Tarifa to do kite surfing. It's like the most important thing for him is kite surfing. He's kite surfing with Google founder Sergey almost every day under the San Francisco bridge. You can get my equipment also. I can borrow that to you. I mean, I was part of the World Championship also about 6 years ago, so I have good friends about. But there are a lot of investors, and startup community is very tied to kite surfing. There's another big event that happens all around the world. Is called Mai Tai. It's Bill Tai, yes, and Susie Mai. It's an experienced kiteboarder. There's a girl with a very experienced investor from Silicon Valley. They merge and they create an event called Mai Tai. And they go all around the world doing events about getting together and everything. So very interesting. I got to know a lot of people, about 6 years ago around that. So why not? Spending some time. The idea is not to talk about business at all. The idea is to get loose and get to know each other and work together and be there for 2 days. So I think it's going to be fun. Anyhow, if you don't think it's a good idea, let us know. I mean, we do that for you. I mean, no, it's true. So thank you for your time. We'll continue with this. I think 5 o'clock we have another lecture. If you think we cannot make it because we need to be doing some other things, we will move it. I mean, and this, I leave it to you, the decision. Okay. It is in the schedule, I think. Is it? No. So then probably Taro change it. So it's all right. I'll double check with her. I'll double check. I have too many things on my calendar, so I just saw quickly. Good. Okay. I'm all yours for now. Okay. Thank you.